Hello sweet peas and welcome to a new video. So we're going to do a cute Easter design in this video that I created for the Nail Sugar April mood board. So the products I'll be using are a light blue gel polish, a pastel lime green gel polish, a pastel teal-ish gel polish. This one is a pinky purple gel polish. I'm also going to use a medium shade of pink. This is a light orange. And this is a lighter shade of pink. I'm also using a blossom gel. I don't know why I'm showing you this because it's just a clear. A Yayogi's clear builder to encapsulate some of these little pearls. 2 of these flower charms. Then the nail sugar products I'll be using is Baby Shower, Peppermint Tea, Utopia, Decadence Micro Mylar, and lastly Diamond Dust. So that's all for the nail sugar products. I'll also be using 3 colors of embossing gel. This is a minty green one, a pink one, and a purple one. And lastly, I'll be using a 3D gel. It's a teal colored one, but I mixed a lighter shade and a darker shade of it, and I'm using the 3 shades. So this is the mood board that was the inspiration for this set, and I'm going to start with my flexi hand. I want the nails to be pretty long, and since I don't have any of those really long tips, I'm going to make long nails myself. So I took these regular natural colored square tips, I buffed the surface, I rounded out the corners with my file, and then I cut off the wings. And those will act as the natural nail in my flexi hand. I'll be extending the nails with full cover natural colored stiletto tips, so I'm also buffing the surface of those. And because I'm going to cure these on with a base coat, I'm going to etch the inside of the tip that will be connected to the natural nail as well. So I'm applying base coat on the natural nail on the inside of the tip. I'm holding them together and then I'm flash curing this in place with a little LED lamp. I'm doing this for all the nails and then I'll give it a full cure in my big lamp. Then I'm applying a layer of base coat on the entire nail for all the nails and giving this a cure as well. And then I'm going to apply a thin layer of builder gel. This will even out the surface and also give the nails some strength so I can file them into shape. I also decided to make them ballerina shaped instead of stilettos. On the ring fingernail, I'm going to do a marble and I'm applying 2 coats of the orange gel polish and I'm curing each coat. Here I'm mixing some of the Diamond Dust glitter in some base coat, and I'm doing this marble different than I usually do, so I'm applying lines of the gel polish colors, and here is a line of the base coat with the glitter. So I'm applying these next to each other on a painting palette. Then I'm going to scoop up some of the color with an ombre brush and jiggle my brush on top of the nail to release the gel polish. This was my first time doing a marble with this technique and I really like the result. I'm using an ombre brush because I've seen Natalie Muggeridge use one for this technique and it worked really well for me as well. I also have one tip for you guys. I put my gel polish on a rubber painting palette and my brush kind of got caught a little bit when I was picking up colors, so if I were to do it again, I would put my colors on a shiny surface like a tile or a backing paper from a nail form. Right, next I want to put some of the peppermint glitter on this nail, and you guys know I always like to do this in a wet layer of base coat, so that's what I'm doing here. I put base coat on the entire nail and I'm just placing the glitter where I want it. And of course, when I'm happy with my glitter placement, I will cure it in place. By the way, you guys, ignore what you see on the pinky nail at the moment because I didn't really like how this turned out, so I decided to change it later on. On the middle fingernail, I will be doing some hand painting, but I'm doing this on top of my encapsulated and finished filed nail. So for now, we're just going to create the background of it. And I'm going to paint the nails with 2 coats of the light pink gel polish, curing in between coats. I want to cover this entire nail with a baby shower glitter, so after the second layer of the pink is cured, I'm going to apply a layer of base coat on the entire nail. And then I'm going to sprinkle on the glitter with a cuticle pusher. When the entire nail is covered with glitter, I'll cure and then I'll brush off the excess glitter. Because I want the glitter to be very concentrated, I'm going to repeat those steps again. So I'm going to cover the nail with base coat, sprinkle on the glitter, cure, and then remove the excess glitter. On the index finger, I'm going to create an ombre with the 2 shades of pink. And to make a smoother ombre, I'm going to mix both shades of pink to create a 3rd shade of pink that you can see me applying right here. So the top third of the nail has the lightest shade, the middle third has the mix, and the bottom third has the darkest shade. Next, I'm going to dip my ombre brush in the mix and then I'm going to start blending the 3 shades together. By the way, you guys, creating this mix of the 2 colors you want to ombre is a trick that I learned from Kirsty Meakin. When I was happy with my blend, I cured, and now I'm going in with a second layer of the 3 colors to do a second layer of the ombre. I'm of course going to cure this second coat as well, and then I want to create a glitter swoosh with the Utopia Glitter. So first, as always, I'm going in with some base coat. And then I'm going to place the glitter into the uncured base coat, and when I'm happy with the way it looks, of course, I'll cure it in place. And again, I'm going to do a second layer of the glitter to really make it pop. So I'll apply some base coat on top of the swoosh and then go in with more glitter before curing it in place. And the Utopia Glitter has cute iridescent stars and circles in it. So after filling up the swoosh with the finer glitter, I'm going to pick up specific larger chunks of the glitter and strategically place them on the nail. For the pinky, I'm only going to do a background for now as well, because I'll be doing some art on it later. And for the background, I'm starting with 2 coats of the orange color, curing each coat, and then I'm going to cover the entire nail with a layer of base coat and put some of the micromiler into the uncured base coat with a gel brush. When I'm happy with the coverage, I'll of course give this layer a cure. For the background color of the thumb, I mixed some of the teal color that I have with some white to make it lighter, and I'm applying 2 coats of this mix on the thumb, curing in between coats. Next, I want to cover the entire nail with a diamond dust glitter, so I'm applying a layer of base coat on the nail. And then I'll sprinkle the diamond dust glitter into this wet base coat using my cuticle pusher. When I've covered the entire nail with the glitter, I'll cure this in my lamp, and after curing, I'll brush off the excess glitter. So for the design on this nail, I want to create a whole bunch of flowers, and I'm going to use the blooming gel for this. And I like to work on a smooth surface, so I'm first going to seal in the glitter with a layer of base coat and cure this in my lamp. I'm going to create and fully cure each flower separately, and I'm also trying to create different shapes of flowers. And for each flower, I'm starting with some blooming gel just in the spot where I want that particular flower to be. For my first flower, I have mixed different shades of the lime green color by adding white and black. I'm applying my first layer of the flower into the wet blooming gel and then curing, and then I'm going to shape the rest of the flower by applying several layers of the other shades of the lime green color, curing in between layers. My second flower is a rose, and I'm first creating my petals into the wet blooming gel, and after curing this I'm highlighting my petals with a lighter shade of the purple. There are many videos on YouTube on how to create blooming roses with blooming or blossom gel, but if you guys would like me to make a video on that, you can always leave a comment. For my third flower, I'm putting the petals in the same pattern as with the rose, but I'm trying to make the petals more wavy. And of course, after curing the blooming gel with the petals, I will highlight my petals. I then did another one of the green round flower thingies and a pink flower on the bottom of the nail, and because I want to create depth in this nail, I then applied a layer of base coat on top of the entire nail and cured this. I then did another layer of a couple of flowers, another layer of base coat, and then a final layer of flowers, so that I have 3 layers of flowers in total. I encapsulated all my nails with clear builder gel and filed them off camera. I'm going to do the artwork on the pinky now, but first I'm going to apply a layer of matte top coat because I want the background to be matte. And essentially I want to make the pinky look like a decorated Easter egg. So I'm going to apply some swirls with my purple embossing gel first, and I do flash cure after each swirl. The embossing gels have a thicker consistency, so that gives the artwork a raised effect. So if you want your design to be even more raised, you can apply several layers of the embossing gel on top of each other, curing each layer. The ones that I have cure without a sticky layer, so I don't even have to put top coat on, but if they do have a sticky layer, you can always just clean the nail with alcohol. I have a crystal gel glue with a super fine point, so I'm using that to apply small dots of the gel at the top and the bottom of the nail, and I'm applying some of those small pearls into it. After curing the pearls in place, I'm using my green embossing gel to create 2 wavy lines. I'm then going to use my pink embossing gel and create 2 more swirls. And I'm killing it with the technical terms again. And to finish this nail off, I'm going to apply 6 more of the small pearls. On the thumb, some of the design got filed off on the edges of the nail. So I decided to paint a frame around the nail with the lime green gel polish, and I ended up really liking the way that this looked. I did end up doing 2 coats of the frame to get full opacity. So for the artwork on the middle finger, there's an Easter bunny with this flower wreath on top of his head that I decided to recreate on the middle fingernail. When painting characters, I always draw them on the nail with pencil first. So I mixed this really light shade of an off-white and I outlined the entire drawing with this color, and I also filled in the entire shape with the same color and gave this a cure. Next, I created some initial facial features with a camel color. Most of these will be covered up later with other colors, but this is just to give me an idea where everything will be. About the colors for this paintwork, you guys know I like to mix my own colors using different colors of gel polishes and also Model 1 solid painting gels. For the nose, I'm using different shades of light pink, and I'm applying using a dotting tool and small pieces of makeup sponge. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the inner ears as well. Then I want to make it look like fur on the forehead and the cheeks of the bunny. And I'm doing this by creating the thinnest lines with the camel color first and curing this, and then doing the same thing with the darker brown. Next, I want to soften the lines and also make it look a little more realistic, so I'm dabbing over the lines with the off-white color first, and after curing this, I'm doing the same thing with the camel color. Then I want to create the same fur look on the outside of the ears, so I'm going to go in with the fine lines again, but this time I'm doing the dark brown color first and then the camel color. I'm then adding a hint of a dark color in the center of the forehead. And then I'm going to create the eyeballs with black, and I'm using a dotting tool to do this. I'm doing 2 coats for the eyes as well. I'm then painting on the nose and the mouth with a dark brown again, and I'm also adding a bit of shade under the eyes with this dark color. For the whiskers, I'm going in with a really dark gray first, and then I'm going over top of this with the off-white color to make it more natural. Then I'm adding some details on the eyes and painting a bunch of leaves on the bunny's head. After that, I'm applying the 2 flower charms with my crystal glue gel, and then I'll create a bunch of 3D leaves around the flowers with my 3D gel. I then did some paintwork on the leaves and highlighted the flowers, and the set is ready for top coating. So I'm going to top coat my bunny and the flower wreath with a matte top coat using a detailing brush. By the way, you guys, like I said before, the pinky is done. I matte top coated it before the artwork, and the artwork doesn't need top coat anymore. The background of the bunny nail and the eyes of the bunny get a shiny top coat. I think the flower nail on the thumb would have looked great matte top coated as well, but I was afraid that you wouldn't be able to see the depth as much with the matte top coat, so that's why I decided to make it shiny. I'm quite happy with how this set turned out. I love the flower nail. I love the bunny nail. I mean, it's funny because with hand painting, I feel like I always put it off until the last thing to do, but I always end up enjoying it. I think the ombre looked really nice as well, especially with that cute Utopia glitter over it. And I also enjoyed doing this new marbling technique. Well, it's not new, but it was my first time using this technique. But you're definitely going to see me do more of that. So my lovelies, leave your thoughts on this set in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys think. Which nail is your favorite? What would you have done differently? As always, there's a little clip and some pictures of the finished set at the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave me a thumbs up if you like this video. Also, please subscribe if you haven't already. You can find my other social media in the description box, as well as the links to all the products I've used. Be sure to stay safe and healthy, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye bye. Mwah.